Good afternoon. My name is Hugo. I'm the founder of Consigns Digital. We are a brand strategy and web design agency or consultancy since it's just me myself today. So, today we're going to be talking about the strategic physics of red, how a single hue controls drive, dominance, and desire in business and in creation. This is not a color theory talk, it's emotional engineering. So, red as an energy multiplier. Red amplifies the intensity of whatever it touches. It doesn't create meaning on its own, it magnifies the emotional state you're already in. This fundamental principle transforms how we deploy color in strategic. This fund. Let me restart. Red amplifies the intensity of whatever it touches. It doesn't create meaning on its own, it magnifies the emotional state you're already in. This fundamental principle transforms how we deploy color in strategic context. So, conte- so confidence with red. When paired with confidence, red becomes leadership. It signals command, decisiveness, and the courage to move forward boldly. Now, confusion with red. When paired with confusion, red creates chaos. It amplifies uncertainty and can overwhelm rather than guide. And now, stillness with red. When paired with stillness, red becomes magnetism. It creates a powerful focal point that draws and holds attention effortlessly. So, never deploy red until your core message in your business is emotional clear. The amplification effect only works when there's something meaningful to amplify. So, the physics of dominance. Humans read red as biological authority. Blood equals life equals power. This isn't learned, it's encoded in our evolutionary wiring. Brands that master red position themselves as the pulse of their industry, the beating heart that others follow. Use case logic. When competing for attention, go red, own the tempo, use it to establish rhythm and presence in crowded markets. When you already hold authority, reduce red, imply control. Power feels strongest when it's contained, not constantly broadcast. The most sophisticated brands understand this paradox. Sometimes the absence of red communicates more dominance than its presence. So the dopamine lever. Red compresses Red compresses decision time. It shortens the neural distance between seeing and acting. It creates a sense of urgency that bypasses rational deliberation. So, with red, there is visual recognition. Red captures attention faster than any other color in the spectrum. It also deals with the neural processing. So the brain interprets red as requiring an immediate response. And red also with red, the decision time shrinks and momentum builds. Do you want your user to feel momentum? Inject microbursts of red at key moment points. Purchases, subscribe, unlock, submit. These strategic placements create psychological waypoints that guide behavior. Too, too constant equals fatigue. Use rhythmic, use it rhythmically, and that is gonna cause flow. All right. The pattern matters as much as the presence. So, cultural gravity. Red's meaning shifts across cultures and different contexts. So, in East Asia, red represents victory, prosperity, celebration, and good fortune. In Western markets, it can represent warning, urgency, danger, immediate action required. Global strategy, overall, it has a strong energy to it. It can mean passion, intensity, and heightened emotional states. In Africa, it can mean sacrifice, vitality, spiritual power, and connection to earth. So in global products, red's polarity becomes a strategic dial you could turn. So to sell luxury, deepen the hue of red towards burgundy and white tones. To sell access, brighten the hue towards scarlet and vermilion. And to sell safety, meet the hue with gray undertones. All right. So red as an identity tool. The strategic question isn't should I use red, but rather what kind of power do I want people to feel from me and my business? Your choice of red expression defines your social temperature and positions you in the collective consciousness. So, desired impression, fearless innovator, neon red expression, neon pulse with motion. Example, the Tesla UI, esports branding, established authority, a dark crimson with a minimal layout, Ferrari, Vogue, compassionate leader, soft coral with some white space, NGOs, wellness brands, disruptive challenger, bright red, sharp edges, Virgin, Netflix, timeless excellence, deep red with gold accents, luxury hotels, premium spirits. Red doesn't just communicate what you do, it defines your social temperature, the emotional climate people enter when they engage with your brand or business. So, the law of resonance. Red is energy made visible. But here's a critical nuance that separates amateur from strategic deployment. The viewer mirrors the creator's nervous system. When you're centered and grounded, red reads as strength. It communicates confidence, stability, and controlled power. The color becomes an extension of your inner authority. So, when you're scattered or frantic, red reads as desperation. It amplifies anxiety, creates visual noise, and repels rather than attracts. The same color that could signal power instead signals panic. The color doesn't change. Our internal state determines how it's perceived. Red is a mirror, not a mask. This is why it's most effective to use red from creators who have already managed their energy. The external deployment of color must be perceived by internal calibration. Manage your inner state before deploying red externally, or risk broadcasting the very emotions you're trying to overcome. So, applied summary. Mastering red requires systemic thinking. These four principles form the foundation of strategic color deployment in any context, from brand identity to product design to communication strategies. So, number one, clarify intention. What emotion are you magnifying? Red amplifies it, it doesn't create. If your core message lacks clarity, red will only amplify confusion. Start with emotional precision. 2. Modulate saturation. Match your authority level. Emerging brands can use brighter reds to claim space. Established brands use deeper reds to imply contained power. Adjust intensity dial based on your position. 3. Pulse rhythmically. Train attention, don't trap it. Strategic bursts of red create momentum. Constant red creates fatigue. Think drumbeat, not siren. Use rhythm to guide the viewer's nervous system. 4. Anchor identity. Let red express your internal energy, not replace it. The color should emerge from who you are, not cover up what you lack. Authentic deployment creates resonance. Cosmetic use creates dissonance. Red isn't design, it's behavior made visible. Learn to move people's blood pressure with precision, and you control perception at its biological root. This is the ultimate leverage point in visual communication. The creator who understands red's physics doesn't just design better interfaces or brands, they engineer emotional states, compress decision loops, and establish authority that transcends rational analysis. They work at the level of the nervous system itself. So, the path forward. What emotional state does your business want to amplify? Am I using red to signal power or the power I wish I had? Does my internal energy match the external intensity I am broadcasting? And use red to compress decision time. So for builders, use red to compress decision. For builders, use red to compress decision time at key conversion points, like checking out and things such as that. For brands, define your power signature. Let your red expression emerge from authentic positioning, not aspiration. And last but not least, for leaders, master your internal state first. Red will amplify whatever energy you bring. Make sure it's worth magnifying. So, remember, every statement of red Every deployment of red is a statement about power, energy, and intention. Make it count, make it conscious, and make it strategic. That is all. This is Hugo from Consigns Digital. If you're interested, if you would like a consultation, hit us up. Calendly link in the description. Have a wonderful day.